Alright everyone, welcome back for another video on Monmate Master. Today is another day where I'm gonna have a crazy amount of power increase normally if I trust what other players say to me. Because if I go here in the event, we have the return of the force, the chart rush, so this is the second one. We are on day 16 at the moment. And if you check what players could spend here, for the top 5 players, 233,000, and I should be close to that. Because if you check that, I saved all my milk since the beginning almost. And so if I go here, this is what I have at the moment. 194k. I have a lot of progression to get in here. We are going to check that. But first of all, I want to go in the ranch and I want to give you a few tips on that. So you have your buildings here. The first one to upgrade is this one in my opinion, because you are getting more milk every time you are milking the cows. Then I recommend to upgrade this one, so it is taking less time. And finally, I recommend to go for this one at the end, which is something that I'm gonna do, alright? So every day, make sure that you are going here on your different cows and that you are spending all your standard feed. That is very, very important. By doing that, once you do that one time, when you do that one time, then you can refill that just by watching some ads. And so this is super important. And you can see, by the way, that now I'm getting 1,200 milk per cow. So this is very, very nice. Look at that. I'm getting 12 more for free, of course. This one is going to end in 2 minutes. I'm just going to let it end by itself. And so then I'm continuing using that, all right? Then I'm going in the shop. Every day, I'm purchasing a bit of these 4 times for 120 diamonds. This is not a lot, and just in case in the future, if you have a lot of these, you can spend some. And I'm purchasing some of these as well. I'm taking like 6 to 8. It depends if I have some diamonds. I'm gonna spend a lot here, so I will have some more milk at the end. I recommend to go and steal some milk to other players. Just try to steal the big cows like that. You are gonna get more milk, and check the levels of the building. The higher the level here on this one, the more the milk you are gonna get at the end. So that is another thing very important. Something more. So if you go in the guild shop, you have daily the legendary tickets here. Purchase every single one daily. That is super important, and you have the feeding materials here, purchase that as well, all right? So these are the only thing that I'm purchasing every day, and thanks to that I can get more milk. So now enough talk, enough blah blah about that. Let's go in the ranch and let's just spend all my cards and all my feeds, all right? I'm just gonna try to spend absolutely everything I have, and that is important that you try to do that every day. Spend all the blue cards you have every day, because you can refill them and you are getting more milk at the end of the day, all right? Something more very important to do. Okay, so let's try to do that quick. I have the quick feed feature, by the way, so I can do that. It's gonna go way faster, of course. Alright, then when you're empty here on the blue tickets, you can just click on a field here and you can purchase, you can take 12 more twice, alright? So that is very important that you know about it. So I'm gonna grow them. Do that again. I have 2 more here. And then I'm clicking here again. And you can see that I have a lot more. Perfect. Then I'm coming back in the shop. I just want to spend a bit more. I'm going to take 2 more for now. And I'm not going to spend more diamonds here. Let's quick feed that. Alright, and now I have nothing left. So let's check how much milk I have. 228,000. Which is a lot, to be honest, but I'm not gonna be in the top 5, which is unfortunate. I will like 1 medal only to get the mount that cost 40. Whatever. So let's run that and let's see what I am getting at the end. Just gonna select a legend and higher here. 2 by 2. And let's start that and let's see what I am getting. Alright, 7, almost 8 million more. Because here, in fact, on the highest rarity, you are not getting normal stats only, you are getting final attack, HP, and defense. And this is giving you a crazy amount of power. 8 million already. That is insane. Look at that, 20 million. Final attack of 4.65%. That is absolutely insane. This is what I told you. It's gonna take a lot of time. But I suppose that the higher the level, the more you can draw. Let me check here again. Unlocks at level 19. Alright, so I'm far away from that. But whatever, let's continue doing that. I'm gonna cut the video so it's gonna be better, otherwise you're gonna be forced to watch every single draw I do, and it's just gonna take for a while, look at that. And imagine here, the purples are giving to me a crazy amount of power. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nodes in which I can have a purple and get way more power thanks to that. So I was at 1,050,000,000. So we will see how much power I have at the end. Look at that, another 8 million here. 10% attack. This is not even a final attack bonus here. I can have even more than that. And another 8 million here. Plus advantage and defense bonus. I'm losing some attack and physical damage resistance, which is unfortunate, but I'm getting a lot of more power. And if I have some luck later, I will replace that by a purple and it's gonna be even better. And another purple here, final defense 7.29% and physical damage res, another 8 million. Alright, another purple to replace this one to get 900k power. Final attack, I'm getting a little more because this one is level 15 and this one was level 13, alright? And elemental damage bonus instead of the final defense, so I will deal more damage. So I'm taking this one. I'm still not sure about that, but if it is working as Legend of Mushroom, I want to increase first my damage, have a kind of glass cannon build, so the higher the damage I have, the faster I can kill the opponent's Monmates, and whatever, if it is a PvE or PvP, normally it should be fine. Another 6 million power here. Level 18 here, this one is level 17, this is the same rarity, but this one is increasing my boss damage and my HP more than the other. It seems like the boss advantage is giving you an insane amount of power, but I feel like the previous one is better, at least for PvP. I don't care about it, it doesn't matter because my goal is to have some purples everywhere, so later I will try to change this one if I have some luck. Alright, I reached the level 19 here, so I can now go 4x4, which is gonna be way faster than before. So let's continue with that. And by the way, the higher the level, the higher the probabilities you have to obtain some better runes. But, 40 million power here, final attack 9%, elemental damage bonus, this one is amazing. Yeah, you have more probabilities, and by the way, you have another rarity here, the immortal, but it costs more milk than before. Alright, another 1 million power here, attack bonus. That's a legend plus, but it's not giving to me final stats. Only attack bonus, but it's way better than the one I had before. Elemental damage resistance is 6.1%, which is very, very nice. What is that? You have some sets apparently now. Team Spirit. Increase allies damage equal to 0.5% of your crit damage when you crit, lasts for 3 seconds, and stacks up to 8. 1 on 4. So apparently you have sets of nodes to have extra effects. That is interesting. I didn't know about that. So this is very cool. So now I need to reach the level 20 and I will have another rarity on the gear here. Oh, and by the way, if I check this one, this is the other set. Increase damage deal to bosses by 5%. Elemental damage resistance and elemental damage bonus. Attack bonus? No, I'm not gonna change this one. I'm getting 100k power, but I don't care. But I have another set, by the way, the attack snatch. When the highest attack enemy first uses an OH key move, I don't know what is that. Reduce their attack by 3% and increase the highest attack allies attack by 3%. I suppose that the OHK move is when they jump on your side, like he's doing Blessel and the Flaminator. I don't know, but I don't want that. The one I had before is better to me. I have more attack. This is more interesting to me. Another 2 million. I'm losing some attack, but I'm getting elemental damage resistance and final defense, and I will have 2 pieces now for that set. So 20% more damage on bosses, which is very nice to have more rewards in PvE. Okay, got another one, increasing my attack and boss advantage. 4 million more power. So this is something cool. I'm getting way more attack than before, so let's take that. 4 million more power. Of course I'm taking that. That was only a red though. Could be better, but I don't know if I'm gonna have some more luck during that video. I have like half my milk remaining. Level 21, let's check the rates. 0 15% chance to get some immortal and 0 20% on the next level here. And I need the same amount of milk to level up. Alright, another 4.4 million power. A final HP, 10% more. An elemental damage bonus, so I have more damage and more HP. Let's take this one instead. 2 million more power, more attack, twice the amount of attack and some elemental damage as well instead of some more HP, so I'm taking that. That is only a red, but it is better than the one I had before. Another red to replace this one. 8.5 million power, boss advantage and HP bonus. I'm losing a bit of damage here, but whatever, I'm getting a lot more power. So for now, I'm gonna stick with that. I still have a yellow here. Can I have something to replace it? That would be nice. 17 million more power, final attack and elemental damage resistance. Getting way more. This is double the amount of attack. Of course I'm taking that. 17 million power, that is insane. 40 million power almost. And this is another set, the Riot. Your first attack after entering the battle is guaranteed crit. That is very nice. This is what I want. Alright, so let's equip that. 40 million power. This is very, very strong. Got another one to replace... elemental damage res, 11 million power. I got some final defense, but it's decreasing, but more efficiency versus bosses. Gonna lose some efficiency in PvP because of that. I'm gonna equip that. And I'm gonna save this one on the next loadout here, just in case, so maybe I can switch them if I want to. Alright, got another one. A red to replace a purple, giving me more power. Attack bonus 13%, which is better, and I'm losing elemental damage resistance 6%, and I'm losing the set, by the way. Increases all allies damage equal to 0.5% of your crit damage when you crit. Not sure if I want to replace this one though. One more time, I'm gonna do that, you know. Alright, and this is the last one, so I reached the level 23. And I had a yellow, so let me check the rates now. 0.25% chance to get an immortal, and if I reach the level 24, I will have 0.30% chance. So this is where it ends. I don't know if there are more ways to obtain some tickets, but that would be very nice for that event. Instead of spending, of course. This is not what I am aiming for, but the event is not completed here. I needed 240,000 milk if I want to complete the event. You get a crazy amount of rewards inside. And that is very, very nice. This is the main reason why you need to save your resources and spend them for these events only. Wait, this is the round number 4 only? So I will need another 60,000 after that? So I'm lacking 71,000 in total if I want to obtain everything. That is interesting, and I am top 6 at the moment. That is very close though. But the event, you still have 5 days, so normally in 5 days I will have the resources I need for that. Let me check. You have the shop here, I have the 3 of these. And I am so close to get one of these mounts. I suppose that I'm gonna take this one. Let me know which one you prefer. And this one can be nice to survive. It can heal one of your ally when it's fall down below 30% HP. And it's increasing the attack speed to 120 for 8 seconds. With 40 seconds of cooldown, so it can be very interesting. But this one is increasing the damage you deal on the opponent, and you have some AoE damage as well. A vulnerability, 1 stack every 2 seconds for 10 seconds, so 5 stacks at the most on the enemies, which can help a lot in my opinion. So guys, this is the power I have now. I got 200,000 more power. 200 million more power. Which is very nice, to be honest. I was expecting to have a little more, But maybe if I have some luck on the next draws, as you can see, it increased by a lot my final power, so if I continue that, I will have way more power than that. So guys, that was all for the video. Have a really nice day, weekend, whatever. See you on the next video. Take care, bye bye.